I was going to have access to one car, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in front of me, and then another 4 down there. I'm trying very hard to hide my excitement, but I cannot contain what we are here for today. And yes, you would have already seen the car, but this is my perspective, my point of view of seeing the new Flagship V12 super sports car from Lamborghini that is in that building over there. And we are approximately 10 hours away from the public reveal, and this is a private exclusive event for some media here, and we are greeted with a sea of colour and V10s. Come with me as I pick up my suitcase and head inside, because I've been told that we are starting, and there is a lot of Lamborghini personnel here. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello. And in we go.
Okay.
Now, as fast as the car has been unveiled, I've actually removed myself from the room. The car is all the way back there, but Lamborghini, to give all of the journalists and media a fair opportunity with the car, has split the entire crowd into 4 segments. And whilst one segment is in there with the car now, we've been given the opportunity to go and check out some of the other areas that we can and can't film around the factory. Oh my God, I am seeing so many different specs of the new Revuelto. I can't pronounce it. I'm so sorry, Lamborghini. But I've been lucky enough to be on the production line of Aston Martin, McLaren, Ford, and even Lotus. But to do Lamborghini, my favorite manufacturer, and to see these cars in the factory, I am soaking everything up, and it is amazing to think that I've actually owned 3 cars that might have rolled off these floors and made it all the way over to my ownership. I'm in complete awe. Okay, I did not think that I was going to be seeing any more specs of the Revuelto, is probably the best way that I can pronounce the name of it, but this spec right here is hands down my favorite that I've seen. It looks like a battleship, and it's got the tan interior as well. You've got the traditional Lamborghini spec on the right with the diamond cut wheels that look massive, but this is a bit of me. It is just the coolest thing. You've got the satin carbon finish. Look at the interior. I'm getting a sneak peek at cars that I did not expect to see today. And we're going to move down and have a look. You've got like a satin white one over there, an orange launch spec there, another white one over there. Oh my God, I'm in heaven. I do not know where to begin or what to talk about, because in there at the end of the production line is a satin black Revuelto, and I feel like now is the perfect time to talk, as I'm experiencing Lamborghini for the first time firsthand, how special this is for me, but also for the Supercars London channel, because back when the Aventador was launched in 2011, I was in my first year at university. I was 20 years old, and there was nowhere near the amount of work between manufacturers and brands and social media. YouTube and social media was still so much in its infancy, so the idea of even being invited to the launch of the Aventador, the Flagship V12 at the time, was just not even on my radar. So all I wanted to do, knowing that this car was coming, was have the opportunity of seeing it, and to come here is the most authentic way for me to experience Lamborghini for the first time. to celebrate the Aventador, which has lived through my channel since the car spotting days, since when I got my first supercar and was able to start driving these cars. And I've driven every single example of the Aventador that you can, and now to be here in Italy, this journey that I've been on, the channel has been on, and we've seen the Murcielago, which was the car that actually made me fall in love with cars back in 2001. My parents got me a car book for Christmas. That, not necessarily the Mercy SV, but the Murcielago back in 01 when it was launched was the car that made me fall in love with road cars, and Lamborghini has been at the forefront ever since. So I feel honoured to be able to film this moment in Lamborghini's history and the new era of the V12, their high-performance EV. And I'm blown away, absolutely blown away. So this is where all of the media is being captured, and I'm just going to sneak in here to have a look at the car whilst everyone is kind of, I think, getting ready to do a piece to camera. And Stefan Winkelmann is getting mic'd up. Here we go. Now, it's pretty rare that this happens, because usually when a car gets launched, this is the only thing that you get to look at. I actually preferred going back into the factory, and that experience of seeing the cars in motion, rolling through the production line, and also seeing finished forms in different specs. I'm going to try and wiggle my way back, and just like that, the legends at Lamborghini have allowed me back in with my favourite specification, a satin black, I believe, Nero Nemesis. Need to brush up on the specifications of the Lamborghinis, but we have 4 built Revuelto here, and oh my god, I've got them all to myself pretty much. Whereas the other room, whilst it looks great with the big dramatic Lamborghini entrance, and we got to hear that exhaust from the 6.5 litre V12 that sounds very similar to the Ultimate, and as you can see as we walk around the back of the car, it will have quite a similar short exhaust pipe, because pretty much from the exposed engine right to here, oh my god, it looks like a fighter jet from the back, and the flames that are going to come out of this car, oh my god, look at it from the rear. It is so futuristic. It looks like an F-22 fighter jet. I cannot believe being this close. This is the first time really that I've seen it from the back in this spec. This is my favorite angle, which is very rare, but the back of this Lamborghini is the most futuristic and alien-like. I've never seen a car like it, and the details as well. I'm gonna flip the camera around so that you can see point of view what it looks like to be so close to the latest V12 Lamborghini. There is definitely an element of Centenario down the side. The lines are so synonymous with the V12 hypercars that we have seen in recent years, but when you get around the rear of this car, it is going to blow people's mind. This is the next 10 years of poster iconic Lamborghinis, and this is going to be on the bedroom wall of kids that are 3, 4, 5 years old, that are going to grow up in 3, 4 years time and be in awe of seeing such a spaceship on our roads. And the coolest thing about this car, of course, is the fact that they've still got a V12, a 6.5 litre that is totally exposed with this beautiful gloss carbon. Now inside, I was a little bit worried when Lamborghini introduced that there was potentially 13 available driving modes, which technically there is, but there are 4 that we need to consider. Strada being street, Sport, which apparently will enable you to properly drift this car, Corsa, and then City, which is essentially full EV, in silent, full stealth mode, and that is exactly what this particular car represents. What a whirlwind day that we have had. We are now outside the front of Lamborghini's headquarters, and there is a story that dates back to 2016 where myself in the AMG GTS and Sam in his F-Type drove down this road on a Friday afternoon just as all of the employees were leaving, and a facelift Aventador came out for testing, which turned out to be the Aventador S. That was the only time that I've been here, and not once did I go through those barriers, because I felt a little bit embarrassed to be in an AMG, knowing that I was such a big Lamborghini lover. I didn't want to turn up and give my first impressions to the factory of me driving a Mercedes. And it has been absolute chaos today, because we saw the car, I then went on the production line, showed you some of the specs. I think I've seen 11 of these cars. I still can't nail the name. Revuelto. That's probably the closest I've ever come. But what a beautiful car. And actually the embargo, which was supposed to be 7 p.m. tonight, has been lifted because the car during lunch leaked, meaning that someone out there had an image and decided to break the embargo, meaning Lamborghini just went, post whatever you want. So you're seeing this video a little bit after I've landed back from Italy. I've edited this video together, and what I wanted to capture on this trip was fundamentally just how special it is for me to be invited by Lamborghini for the launch of their new flagship car. Knowing that back in 2011, when the Aventador was launched, social media was so much in its infancy that there was no opportunity for me as a YouTuber with 50,000 subscribers in my first year at university, doing it as a hobby, that I would never be in this position, or ever thought that I would potentially be in this position to be a guest of Lamborghini to celebrate the launch of their new car. And I think that is the best way of summarizing this video. I cannot wait to drive this car. I'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Goodbye.